What is esports? Why does it exist? How could it benefit us as a society? Electronic sports, or esports, is an evolution of cognitive competition, where video games have become a spectator sport. Historically, cognitive competition has surrounded games like chess, Go, dominoes, and card games. These turn-based games allow competitors to compare many cognitive skills, but much of the competitor's thinking remains invisible to a spectator. As a result, these cognitive competitions haven't been able to fill stadiums with thousands of cheering spectators like traditional sports have. Until esports. The key is instantaneous response to user input via visual and audio effects that aren't only entertaining, but also intuitive. This creates a fluid competition where decisions are being made as quickly as possible and creates a way for spectators to follow and understand what's happening in the game. This key environment was created by modern computer graphics and interactive game design before the idea of esports was even fathomable. This environment allowed competitive gaming to explode by the end of the 20th century, with the appearance of titles like Blizzard Entertainment's StarCraft, popularly referred to as chess, being played at hundreds of actions per minute. StarCraft moved quickly from internet cafes to online tournaments, and eventually even to television with the establishment of Korean stations like MBC Game and OGN. But what makes esports worthwhile? Today, top players follow strict practice regimens, relying on their teams and coaches to review their decisions and improve their skills. Just as sports demand unique physical skills like speed, agility, strength, endurance, and accuracy, esports demand unique cognitive skills like strategic thinking, resource management, multitasking, pattern recognition, anticipating opponents' actions, just to name a few. Players actively prepare for games, analyzing their opponents' styles and preferences beforehand. In exchange for these commitments, corporate sponsors back players, teams, and events, with top players earning hundreds of thousands annually. Not only do these events bring out throngs of spectators, but millions tune in online as well. Best of all, esports brings together people from across the globe to discuss strategy, competing alternatives, and methods to look ahead several steps, predicting the actions of an opponent. What can esports do for society? Spectators coming together to cheer on their favorite cognitive competitors is a new phenomenon. Back in a world where hunting, fishing, farming, and other physically demanding occupations were necessary for survival, it made sense that spectators would rally around physical competition like traditional sports. But the world's different now. In modern society, success is highly correlated to education, intellect, and cognitive abilities. By rallying around cognitive competition, esports is an opportunity for us to better align the skills we idealize in competition with the skills we found to be useful in moving forward as a human race. In her Scientific American blog, How a Computer Game is Reinventing the Science of Expertise, Sandra Upson calls StarCraft an unparalleled resource that scientists are only now tapping for the study of attention, multitasking, and learning, further explaining that recent experiments on computer games are beginning to suggest that players develop skills that could be useful in other contexts. Presently, we don't know enough about esports to predict what impact it might have, but it's clear that the academic community is trying to catch up with this new phenomena, and perhaps a better understanding will develop as esports grows and researchers make new connections. How can we help accelerate the growth of esports? One of the biggest forces opposing esports is legacy thinking, the sentiment that competitive gaming has nothing new or valuable to offer, and that we can't improve existing competitive platforms. In the case of esports, this type of thinking often stems from stereotypes, associating gamers with sedentary lifestyles and not contributing to society. Although there's some truth to these stereotypes among some casual gamers, these stereotypes don't seem to be characteristic of esports, and often they serve as a learning barrier to esports. Legacy thinking is also visible in communities and schools where extracurricular activities revolve around sports. Students who might not be inclined towards sports and physical competition may need some other competitive outlet, and they aren't always given the best list of options. We might want to reevaluate the options we provide our children and try to help them better pursue their interests. The The best way to learn more about competitive gaming is from a friend or a family member who's passionate about esports. Conversely, the best way to spread awareness of esports is by sharing your passion with friends and family members. Let's see what we can learn. This video is strictly for educational purposes. I would like to thank the following intellectual property owners whose